captain aboard a new kind of ship about to sail on a new kind of ocean, the vast, infinite ocean of space. Space, airless, endless, alien to man. But man is going there. January 27, 1962. In a little while, if all goes well, astronaut John Glenn will be rocketed aloft, borne into space on the shoulders of a 20th century Atlas, number 109D. At the base of the giant rocket, and 85 feet above in the green room atop the gantry, engineers and technicians have been busy throughout the night, and for many days and nights and weeks and months before. It began the day America decided to put a man into space, created Project Mercury to get him there, and safely back. Project Mercury, America's all-ahead, all-at-once initial step in manned space exploration. October 1958. Project Mercury went to work. Assembled a team of scientists, engineers, and technicians to manage America's manned spaceflight programs, to select and train the men who would be the free world's first space pilots, the 7 Mercury astronauts. American industry went to work too. In January 1959, McDonnell Aircraft was chosen to produce the Mercury spacecraft. To lift it into orbit, Project Mercury selected the Atlas rocket. The task of modifying Atlas from a military missile to a man-rated orbital launch vehicle was assigned to General Dynamics Astronautics. To the 4,000 Mercury contractors and subcontractors, to all America, human life is priceless. Nothing was left to chance. All systems, each tiny component of each subsystem, every switch, every valve, would have to function perfectly, would have to be the very best that American scientific and engineering know-how could produce before the Mercury Atlas could be man-rated, before it could carry an American astronaut safely into space. Safety, a Project Mercury byword from the beginning. The life of a human being would be at stake. A positive escape mechanism, an escape rocket. Systems to sustain life in space where there is no life. To provide oxygen where there is no oxygen. Pressure where there is no pressure. And backup systems in case of trouble. Power for the spacecraft with 7 miles of electrical circuits. Power for radio and for telemetry. Power for the in-flight control systems, both automatic and manual. Power to fire the reverse rockets that slow the spacecraft and bring it back from orbit. A shield against the blazing heat of re-entry friction. Astronaut, a new word for a new and demanding profession. Rigorous, intensive training in new and strange devices. High acceleration and re-entry G loads in the human centrifuge. Then the opposite of G loads, no Gs at all, or weightlessness. Training and manual control of the spacecraft. Practice roll, pitch, and yaw maneuvers. Survival training. Every conceivable situation, both normal and emergency, was covered. Astronautics, a new science. There were classes for the astronauts in astronomy, meteorology, geophysics, rocketry, astrophysics, celestial navigation, and there was plenty of homework. There was other work, too. The astronauts participated as engineers in every aspect of the program. Each had a special area of responsibility in the development of Project Mercury. There were dozens of flight tests. Tests that confirmed the operation of spacecraft and booster systems in actual flight. And when there were difficulties, no one tried to hide them. Then, when the tests indicated that everything was ready, man was added. May 5, 1961. Astronaut Alan B. Shepard became the free world's first space pilot.
All right, lift off and the clock
had indeed started. Free man was on his way into space. First with Redstone-powered ballistic flights downrange. Shepard in Freedom 7. And on July 25, 1961, astronaut Virgil Gus Grissom in Liberty Bell 7. These Redstone flights paved the way for the Atlas-boosted orbital missions. November 29, 1961. Mercury Atlas flight test number 5. A chimpanzee named Enos. Was orbited, tracked, and recovered unharmed, confirming that the Mercury spacecraft could sustain life in orbit. Proof provided by telemeter data collected at Mercury tracking stations around the world. Enos was recovered, Project Mercury named astronaut John Glenn to pilot America's first manned orbital flight. Pre-launch preparations had already begun. Lengthy, detailed checkouts of the spacecraft systems. Tests of the electrical circuits. Tests and retests of the control system. The life support system. Pressure, oxygen, cooling. Outside, on launch pad number 14, the Atlas rocket, Atlas 109D, was raised into position. Launch time drew near. The spacecraft was gently placed atop the rocket. This would be a mission of science, A mission of peace. The name of the spacecraft, Friendship 7. Days and nights and weeks and months drew toward a climax. It was January 27, 1962, and the countdown for Mercury Atlas flight number 6, with John Glenn at the controls, was underway. But the weather was marginal. While the world watched and listened, Mercury's operation team made the difficult decision. The flight would not go today because of weather. "5 hours in the Mercury spacecraft, and it was still no go. But there'd be another day, and there was. February 20, 1962, a day free men will never forget. 2:45 a.m., the countdown was underway again. A feeling of go was in the air. "3 a.m., Mercury doctors agreed the astronaut was go. Medical sensors, tiny devices to constantly monitor John Glenn's physical condition, were carefully attached. 4:30 a.m. The count was T-minus 120 minutes and holding. John Glenn wriggled into his snug-fitting spacesuit. 5:01 a.m. The trip to the launch pad. A.m., the long elevator ride up to the 11th deck of the gantry, where Friendship 7 waited. A.m. "6:25 a.m. The count was resumed. From nearby beaches, thousands of visitors watched. And from the press site, a mile and a half from the launch pad, hundreds of newsmen, radio and television representatives broadcasted every drama-packed moment to the people of America and to every nation on Earth. 7:52 a.m. A broken hatch bolt was repaired, and the astronaut was sealed inside the spacecraft, alone. But alone only physically. 8:20 a.m. The gantry was rolled back, leaving Mercury Atlas flight number 6 poised like an arrow, aimed at the heavens. Downrange, the ships and aircraft of the recovery forces were ready. "8:58 a.m. A hold was ordered while a broken valve in the liquid oxygen fueling system was repaired. In the Mercury Control Center, the minutes ticked away. 9:23 a.m. The count was picked up. Around the world, the Mercury Tracking Network reported condition green.
All Mercury stations at T-5, side cone 8, and give status and green light on request. Med, go. ECS, go. Sequence, go. Electrical, go. ASCS, go. RCS, go. Stop, go. CM, go. CO, go. Flight, go. Tony, go.
And the final moments. T-minus 30 seconds and counting.
You have firing signal. Godspeed, John Glenn. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Roger, the clock is operating. We're underway.
You're loud and clear.
Roger, we're programming and roll okay. A little bumpy along about here.
Roger, reading you loud and clear.
Roger, coming into hike you a little bit. That little contrail went by the window or something there.
Roger.
Fuel 102, 101, oxygen 78 to 101, amps 24, still okay. We're smoothing out some now, getting out of the vibration area.
Roger, you're through max Q, flight path is...
Roger, feels good through max Q and smoothing out real fine. Cabin pressure coming down by 7, okay, flight very smooth now. Sky looking very dark outside. Cabin pressure is holding at 6-1, okay.
Roger, cabin pressure holding at 6-1.
Coming up on 2 minutes. And fuel is 102, 101, oxygen 78, 102. He's are building to 6.
Roger, reading you loud and clear. Flight path looks good. Pitch 25, stand by for start.
Roger, Pico. Back to 1 1/4, the tower fired. Could not see the tower go. I saw the smoke go by the window.
Yeah, we confirm staging on PM.
Roger. Still have about 1.5 Gs. Programming over. There the tower went right then. Have the tower in sight, way out. Could see the tower go. Jettison tower is green.
Roger.
1.5 Gs.
Flight path looks good. Steering is good.
Roger, understand everything looks good. He's starting to build again a little bit.
Roger. Pressure 7, Bermuda has you.
Roger, Bermuda, stand by. This is Friendship 7, fuel 103, 101, oxygen 78 to 100. All voltages above 25, amps 26.
All Roger, reading you loud and clear, 7. Cape is go. We're standing by for you.
Roger, Cape is go and I am go. Our capsule is in good shape. Seco. Lots of grapes fired, okay.
Roger, stand.
Roger, 0G, and I feel fine. Capsule is turning around. Oh, that view is tremendous.
Roger, turnaround has started.
Roger, capsule turning around, and I could see the booster during turnaround just a couple of 100 yards behind me. It was beautiful.
Roger, 7. You have a go. At least 7 orbits.
Roger, understand go for at least 7 orbits.
Astronaut John Glenn is in orbit, 100 miles above the Atlantic. 17,545 miles an hour, 5 miles a second. 22 minutes after liftoff, lunchtime in space, over Kano, Nigeria. Across the emerging nations of Africa. Then Zanzibar. And out over the vast Indian Ocean into a sunset scene from space. 53 minutes after liftoff, Mouchet, Australia.
Roger, Friendship 7, Mouchet, Capcom, Roger, how you doing, Gordo? We're doing real fine up here. Everything is going very well, over. Any symptoms of vertigo or nausea at all, over? Negative, no symptoms whatsoever. I feel fine, over. So, just to my right, I can see a big pattern of lights, apparently right on the coast. I can see the outline of a town and a very bright light just to the south of it. On down. Rockingham, you're saying there. Roger, the lights show up very well, and thank everybody for turning them on, will you? Sure will, John.
The world had turned its lights and its heart on. Across the dark Pacific and into the sunrise off the California coast.
And just as I looked back up out the window, I had literally thousands of small luminous particles swirling around the capsule and going away from me at maybe 3 to 5 miles per hour.
Across the United States in 8 minutes. White Sands, New Mexico, Corpus Christi, Texas, Eglin, Florida, Cape Canaveral. The flight continues. Orbit number 2, around the world in 88 minutes.
That is affirmative. I am go for the next orbit.
Roger, understand. At present time, ground concurs.
In Mercury control, a decision. Commit the spacecraft to a third orbit.
Good afternoon, 7. Reading you loud and clear. Roger, this is Friendship 7. Hold the Cape in sight down there. It looks real fine from up here.
I can see the whole state of Florida just laid out like on a map. Beautiful. Even from this position out here, I can still see clear back to the Mississippi Delta.
Orbit number 3. Out in the Atlantic, the recovery forces are ready. The Atlantic. Columbus crossed it in 3 months. Lindbergh in 33 and a half hours. John Glenn in 14 minutes. For the third time, the Mercury Tracking Network receives complete data from the spacecraft. Data which is instantly transmitted to the Goddard Space Flight Center near Washington, fed into the computers for reduction and immediate retransmission to Mercury Control at Cape Canaveral. The entire process requires less than 30 seconds. At Cape Canaveral, the time is 1:43 p.m. At Mouchet, Australia, it's 1:43 a.m. But no one is asleep.
This is Friendship 7. In 45 more seconds, I'd like to have you send a message for me, please. Over. I want you to send a message to the director, or to the commandant, U.S. Marine Corps in Washington. Tell him I have my 4 hours required flight time in for the month, and request flight jet be established for me. Over.
For the third time, John Glenn sees the sun rise out of the trackless Pacific. Then it is time to fire the retro rockets that will slow the spacecraft and bring it back to Earth.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fire. Roger. Retros are firing.
Good, indeed.
Are they ever? It feels like I'm going back toward Hawaii.
The Mercury team at Cape Canaveral reaches a crucial decision.
Texas Capcom Cape Flight. Go ahead, Cape Flight. Go ahead. We have decided to re-enter with the pack on. He will have to crank in the periscope manually and override manually the 05G relay, which should be at a ground elapsed time of 044353. Can you give him that message, please, Glenn? Roger, we can do.
While you're doing that, we're not sure whether or not your landing bag is deployed. We feel it's far safer to re-enter with the retro package on. We see no difficulty at this time in that type of re-entry. Over. Roger. Understand.
As the spacecraft arcs down over the United States, the minutes seem like hours.
This is Friendship 7, a real fireball outside. Okay, Friendship 7, do you receive? Over. Okay, we're through the peak G now. 7, this is Cape. What's your general condition? You feeling pretty well? My condition is good, but that was a real fireball, boy. I had great chunks of that retro pack breaking off all the way through. 7, this is Cape. If you leave, you will be within 1 mile of the uprange destroyer. Recovery weather is very good. Over. Roger, understand. Friendship 7, going to drogue early. It's a rocking first. Drogue came out. Drogue is out. Roger, drogue came out at 30,000 in about a 90-degree yaw. Roger, is the drogue holding on? Roger, drogue looks good. Roger, re-entry checklist complete. Standing by for main at 10. Roger. Coming down on 10, snorkels are open. Roger, understood, snorkels open. Roger. Main chute is on green. Chute is out in reach condition at 10,800 feet and beautiful chute. Chute looks good. On O2 emergency and the chute looks very good. Rate of descent has gone to about 42 feet per second. The chute looks very good. The Friendship 7 standing by for impact.
John Glenn had kept, as Columbus and Magellan, Sir Francis Drake and the Wright brothers kept before him, a rendezvous in time and history and the forward march of man. After 4 hours and 56 minutes in space, John Glenn and Friendship 7 returned to Earth. And 56 minutes in space as the representative of all the members of the Mercury team, all the people of America, and all men who treasure freedom everywhere. The voyage of Friendship 7 marks only the end of the beginning of free man's exploration of the vast, infinite ocean of space.